first guest is an Academy Award-winning actor who you know from such films as Traffic, 21 Grams, and The Usual Suspects. Starting next Friday, he can be seen in the new movie Sin City. Please welcome Benicio del Toro. Man, look at you. You're one of the coolest looking guys I've ever met.
Oh, boy.
Seriously, isn't this not... I mean, this guy, look at those. First of all, those sideburns. You could land a small plane on those. Those things go and go and go. Very cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
If you want to return
so
a compliment
kind.
at any time, just go for it. Aren't I sexy?
Very.
Okay, good. That was convincing. Now, you know, I want to ask you a few things. First of all, we just paid tribute to NCAA basketball. Did you follow basketball at all growing up?
Yeah, a lot. Well, you know, I grew up with Magic and Larry Bird.
Right, right. Watching them, not actually in a room with them. Okay. Sounded a little like you were on 3 bunk beds. Yeah.
That's right.
So you grew up watching those guys. Did you play a lot of basketball?
I played a lot. I played all through high school, and I was going to play in college, but I decided to take it easy.
Right, right. And how were you as a player? Were you what kind of player were you when you played basketball? Were you a guy that liked
I was thinking offense most of the time.
Right,
you know?
right.
And I showboat a little bit.
Showboat? Really? You try and get fancy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
like
so I got a nickname.
Oh, yeah? What was that?
My nickname was Benicio del Turnover.
You have a name, unfortunately, that people probably like to do jokes about, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I'm crying. Can I have a Benicio del tissue, please? Yeah, people would be cruel. But so you were, because I was that kind of guy. When I would play any kind of sport, I would try and make it all about check me out. And I was, you know, that's the worst thing to do is say check me out and then screw up. That's just a horrible thing to do. So you were turning the ball over a lot?
A lot of unnecessary behind the back passes, you know.
Right, right.
Completely.
Like when the guy you're passing to is right there, and you're like,
yeah.
You didn't see that coming? No, I didn't. Well, it's good. You moved into acting. This has gone very well for you.
Yeah.
It could not have gone any better.
That's right.
And you know, we were talking about you today. First of all, we'll talk about the movie in a second, which I saw, which is, I think, it's fantastic. I've never seen a movie quite like this. It's visually stunning, and we'll get to that. But in all your work, you are so great. You have such a great, intimidating squint. When you squint, it's very intimidating. Have you seen Benicio del Toro squint in a movie? It is just give me the Benicio. There you go, right there. Well, that's more like like the light is bothering you, or what you were doing there was I sicken you a little bit. Yeah, I don't like that guy. But it's like you and Bruce Willis are the 2 actors that I think have the best squint in the movies right now. Which is a great
company.
thing. Yeah, that's a good thing. You should do a movie where you 2 meet in a western town and squint at each other. See, my squint's no good. My eyes just disappear. Look at that. That's no good. You don't want that.
That one is okay. The one on the left.
The one on the left was okay? That's terrible when only one of your eyes is squinting and the other one's wide awake. I'm going to get you. It doesn't look as good. Well, let's talk about Sin City. This movie, first of all, the women in this film, I'm coming off as a bit of a pervert talking about this. Beautiful, beautiful women in this movie. And this director, you can tell, loves shooting women's bodies because they're not wearing much in this movie. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, it's the director and the writer. Frank Miller, the
Yeah.
writer, and Robert Rodriguez, the director. You know, they both together, they're a dynamic duo, and the movie's fantastic, and for what it is, you know, it's based on a graphic novel.
Right, right.
You know, and it's over the top. You know, usually in movies you live by the saying of less is more.
Right.
But this is one of those movies that more can be more.
Yeah, the action. I mean, it's very. There's a style to it where the way people fight and everything. It's kind of reminiscent of something like Kill Bill, except it's visually very different. Right, you know, where the violence sometimes is over the top, but it has almost a cartoon element to it, and it really works.
It does work. It does work.
Did you, if you do say so yourself? Yeah. I'm curious. There's a scene where you get. I don't want to give anything away, but I'm going to. Where you're decapitated, and they're part of the movie. They're running around with your head.
Right.
I'm thinking they had to make your head for this movie Do you get to, and it's very convincing, do you get to keep something like that when the movie's over?
I don't want my head.
You don't want your head?
No.
I would want my head. Okay. I would think it'd be really funny. I would think of so many fun things to do with it. I'd put it in the back of my car facing out the back window. Some people were driving behind me. There's, I think it'd be really fun. That's the first thing, that's how my mind works. That's the first thing I would ask for. But you didn't want it.
I didn't.
You didn't.
Those guys, K and B is called, the guys who did the prosthetics. I'm wearing a nose and a chin in the movie, a fake nose and a fake chin. Those guys are great.
Right.
Yeah, they made it painless. They got me in and out of that chair real quick.
Right.
With the makeup, and they're really good at it.
Some of them,
I'm sure they have my head somewhere.
Right, right. Just look into it. It might be a fun thing to have.
I'll take note.
You make a lot of pasta, you serve it to someone, they're eating it, suddenly your head's in there. That's fun stuff. I would have
It is. It could be. Yeah.
The mind just, just plays game. It would be so much fun. This movie, it's very difficult to talk about it without showing. We actually have a clip, which I think will help people just with the look of the film. There's a lot of different characters, and it's very hard to set up. But what can you tell us about this scene?
Well, I play the villain, and the movie's basically 3 different stories. Mm-hmm. I'm in one of the stories, and I play the villain, and I'm going to pick up some girl for some action. I'm actually picking up, like a prostitute. I'm like.
Don't be shy. We've all done that.
Yeah.
We all haven't done it. We've heard about it.
Yeah.
So you're going to.
I'm actually going to pick her up, and I'm flirting with her, and I'm the villain, and she's a young girl, and she doesn't want to jump in. I'm pretty drunk. My character is pretty drunk, and she's just like, she doesn't want any part of it.
And she also has some people watching her back in the scene,
That's right.
protecting her, and
the actress name is Alexis Bledel, and she's very good.
Let's take a look at this clip from Sin City.
Get in the car, baby. We'll just talk. It'll be nice.
I don't do group jobs.
Baby, don't. I've had me one hell of a bad day.
Turn around. Save yourself and your buddies a ton of grief.
There's only so much a man can take.
You couldn't handle a woman the state you're in.
She's saying you ain't got what it takes, Jack.
You want to see it? You want to see what I got?
Oh, sugar. You just gone and done the dumbest thing in your whole life.
It's interesting because they changed in the movie. They changed your face so that I still knew it was you because your eyes are the giveaway. Only you have those eyes, but they changed your face enough. It's very compelling. It's you, but it's not you.
Yeah, it's that kind of movie that you can take those chances. You can go a little bit over the top with anything. It's based on a comic book, and it's just one of those movies that you can do that.
Yeah, and I've said, there's a lot of movies that are based on comic books or these graphic novels, and you feel like, this is a movie based on it. This is the one movie I've seen where you really feel like you're in that world. You're in a comic book. You're in a graphic novel.
That's Robert Rodriguez magic right there.
Yeah, well, it's a really cool film. People should check it out. Sin City opens next Friday. Always cool having you on the show. Thanks so much for being here. Benicio del Toro, thanks for doing it. Jordana Brewster is coming up. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.